you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get fat off your body. Are protein bars stopping you from doing that? And I think the question is not, I get the question from all my students is not, is this good or bad, so much as is, how are you using it? What's the point of the protein bar? Do you even know why we use these things? And are you overusing them as kind of a scapegoat for doing what you really have to do? Now, I'm a fan of shortcuts and getting things done as fast as possible, but the most important thing to understand about the protein bar, which I think is being lost in kind of the marketing fog and noise of the health and fitness field, is that these bars were created to be kind of a middleman, a middle point between fast food and bags of chips and pretzels or whatever it might be, and a healthy meal. They're somewhere in the middle. And they're being promoted as a healthy meal when they're not. And so when you're thinking about these things, the only reason that you should be taking these is really, or one of the only reasons, there's an exception to every rule, but the only reason for most people is when time or location just completely prohibits you from finding a healthy meal somewhere, and you have no other options. So you need to get some food, you take one of these things. But it's not something that should be taken every single day. It's not something that should really even be built into a meal plan, in my opinion. It's just a way that people are putting off the actual work, which is figuring out how to eat healthy every single day. And it is something that you have to figure out and work on and build a habit for. And these things can be diversions sometimes. Now, that's not to even mention that I've recently done a lot of research on the current most popular bars out there, because my company is releasing some here in a month, and I wanted to see how they compared to what was out there. Were we just putting another bar out, or does it have a place in the marketplace? And I realized that these bars that I see people use, one, they're thinking that they're a protein bar when they actually have double, sometimes triple the amount of carbs as they do protein. Remember, just because something has protein doesn't make it a protein bar or even something that you should be having. And two, the amount of sugar in most of these things is equal to just having the Snickers bar or the candy bar, something you would actually really enjoy. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And so that gave me more confidence in what we were putting out there. And there are other companies. I think there's a few that I know of that are legitimately putting out decent bars, but it was some of the more healthy ones that I thought were healthy that just did not kind of pass the test, in a manner of speaking. So think first is, how are you using these things? What's your mindset? What's your perspective on these things? And once you get in the right mindset about it and figure how to use it, look at the back of your bar, not the front of the package. Look at the back and say, does this nutritionally fit into my goals? Does it work for me? And then you can make a better decision on how to use these things, if they're good for you, and if they'll ultimately help you, or are they ultimately holding you back.